Hi everyone, it's Ras from Divine Sacred Soul, and I'm doing a live stream today about life purpose. So I'll just wait for a few more people to hop on and then we'll get started. How's everyone's day going? Let me know where you're watching from. Just comment down in the comment box below. Let me know where you're watching from. Thanks, Sat. Right, so I'm just going to make a start on life purpose. So, life purpose, what is it? So we hear this buzzword, life purpose, passion, your purpose-led career, all of these kind of things. They seem to be buzzwords these days. And what actually is it? So, in my opinion, life purpose is something that you're here, that you've always known, you've had this innate knowing, this inner wisdom of what you're supposed to be doing. And life purpose, what I believe is that you grow and change in your life purpose, although the underlying current of your life purpose will always be the same, the ultimate goal. Your purpose kind of shifts as you grow, as you develop and evolve. Then you can do little different parts of your life purpose. And so I'll give you an example for myself. I was trained as a pharmacist, so I spent all my life training for pharmacy. I knew from the age of 6 that I wanted to be a pharmacist. And as I grew up, as I started taking my GCSEs and trying to hone in my skills so that I could start, focusing on the things and the skills and the education that I needed for pharmacy. Hi everyone, hi Sharon, hi Mom, hi everybody. As I started to focus in on what I really needed, I knew the underlying current for that was that I knew I wanted to help people. I could have gone into anything else. I could have gone into medicine. I was bright enough. I just didn't want to. Somewhere deep inside, I knew it was pharmacy that I wanted to be doing. And that's what I did. But there came a point in my career after I'd done all of that. I've finished with my pharmacy. I got to the top of where I really could be, and I was feeling really unfulfilled. I wanted something, and I knew I was here for a bigger, better purpose. I mean, that I was thinking there's got to be more than just living from paycheck to paycheck, right? So some of you might be feeling this. How many of you feeling like there's more to life than just hand-to-mouth existence? You're just existing. You're not actually living. And there's a difference between survival, existing, and living life. And so I was at that point in my life where I was just existing, getting by, not feeling fulfilled, not feeling happy. I did have a purpose. I mean, I was helping loads of people in that career at that time, but I knew I wanted something better. I wanted something else. So I evolved. I trained as a baby swimming instructor. I started on this business and I gained new skills. And I knew at that point I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted my own business. I wanted autonomy. I didn't want to be employed anymore. So I made that huge transition from being employed, having the safety and the security of having a regular income, and I went into owning my own business. Now at that time I was a bit scared, so I still did use the safety net of a franchise to do that. And while I was there, I learnt loads, and I grew and I developed. And I knew still somewhere deep down there was something that I needed to be doing. I didn't know what it was. I thought that changing from doing what I was doing, being a pharmacist, into doing the baby swimming thing was what I needed. It was the change that I needed at that time. But I still felt unfulfilled in that business. I still felt like I could do more. I still felt there was more potential within myself that I knew I wasn't exploring. So you guys might be at that point now. And it was through my theta healing journey, when I started to do the theta healing and I started to clear my own blocks, then I started to discover what my life purpose was. It suddenly started becoming a lot clearer. I started to recognize and know what my soul really wanted. And here's the thing, guys, your soul will know what you are here to do. It is something that is innate. That inner wisdom, it knows. It knows. And there are things that are important to your soul. There are groups of people on this planet that you will be drawn to, that will be drawn to you, that only you have the skill set to be able to help them. And that is where your life's purpose falls in. Now, a lot of people I see are trying to make, hi Gia, they're trying to make a career out of something that they love to do, something that gives them that sense of purpose, but they're struggling and they're finding like it may not be able to make any, they're not making any profits, they're not able to move forward in that career. It may not be a business of your own, it may be an employed business. Just for me, I knew I wanted something of my own. Hey Pommy. And here's another lady who's living her purpose and doing really well, Pommy. Well done. And Pommy's a great example of somebody who's stepped out of her comfort zone, moved into something that she is passionate about, and she's doing amazingly well. And this is the kind of things that happen when you are living your purpose. Doors will open to you. The universe resets everything and stuff starts to flow. So you're suddenly going with the current rather than swimming against the current, because that is what you are here to do. Your soul knows it, and everything you need to fulfill your life purpose will come to you. The people, the opportunities, the support that you need, the training, the teachers, everything just lines up for you as you align with your life purpose. So you want to ask yourself, if you're in that place where you're really struggling, you don't know what your life purpose is, you know you're here for a bit of bigger, better things, but you don't quite know what that is, similar to where I was at one point, not so long ago, you want to ask, you want to close your eyes, you want to still your mind, meditate on it, pray, whatever it takes, whatever it takes for you to quiet your mind and just reach that Zen zone, as I call it. And you want to ask, what is important to my soul? And just listen. The first thing that comes up for you, whatever comes up for you, what is important to your soul? Yeah, you may get qualities and virtues that you hear and that you already know innately that you resonate with. So for me, from a very young age, truth was always something big. Justice was a big thing, truth. So I would always try and make sure everything was fair. I would get really upset and annoyed when things were unfair, you know. So even as a child, I knew that truth and justice were huge things for me. And that's part of my life purpose. It's about being truthful, having integrity, you know. So you'll kind of know this about your own personality, what resonates with you, what's important to you. So that's one thing that can give you clues as to what you need to be doing. The second thing is, what makes you happy? What makes you really happy to do? So for me, I didn't know it at the time because I always thought I was so shy and, you know, a shy little wallflower. People said to me that I'd never be able to handle a business, that I didn't have business acumen. And I bought into their lies. I bought into their projections, their fears and their opinions. And I kept myself small. I used to think, oh my gosh, I can never do this. How am I ever going to run a successful business? And guess what? Not even 2 years later, here I am, multi-award winning business, doing really well, flying out internationally for my business. And I've created the perfect work-life balance for me. It was always important for me to be able to have enough time, quality time that I can spend with my young family, with my young daughter and my husband, and we do stuff together. So those of you that follow me, you'll see my husband and my daughter come along with me to most of my training, and we have lots of fun together. I always have time, and that was something that was really important to me, my soul, to be there, to be present for my family, and especially for my children and my husband. So these are things that will give you clues as to what your life purpose is and what would work for you, what gives you joy, what gives you happiness. And because if you follow your path of joy, you will create abundance. You will be magnetic to opportunities. So abundance isn't just financial abundance and prosperity. It's opportunities, it's people, it's experiences, it's health. There's an abundance of abundance. It just encapsulates so many things out there. So you'll be magnetizing these things to you rather than having to always work and slog. And I know, Pommy, can you agree? The people that are watching, Rashila, you're doing something that you love doing. And isn't it a joy when you are successful at what you want to do? Isn't it much easier to do something that you absolutely love? You don't mind waking up in the mornings. You don't mind doing those late nights because it's something that you're passionate about. You love doing it. So it's not even work, really. Of course, there is effort that goes into it. Of course there is, but it doesn't feel like work because it's so much fun. Yeah, Tommy, you can identify. So that's the type of lifestyle you want to create for yourself. And the way that you magnetize the abundance, you work on your blocks. So when I first started out, I had all of these misconceptions, things that I bought into, people telling me that I was not good enough. I was believing that I wasn't good enough and that I had to keep myself smaller than everyone else and not allow myself to be more successful than other people. All of these things running in my subconscious mind that were preventing me from having the business and fulfilling my true potential within that business. And as I started to look into these subconscious fears, these beliefs, these feelings, the things that other people had told me all my life, you'll never be successful at what you do. You've got an attitude problem. You're not going to be successful. Your family isn't cut out for business. You don't have any business acumen. I once got told that when I started to embark on my own business, I once got told that I never thought you would actually do this or make it this far. I'm actually shocked that you made it this far. And that really, it took me back. It kind of took my breath away, and I thought, oh my God, have I made a mistake? Am I really not cut out for business? And it's true, and all my fears started to come up. All my fears started to manifest, and I was manifesting blocks in that business, all because I had all of these subconscious fears coming up. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I lose out all this money that I've invested? You know, and some of you may be feeling like that in your business if you've just started on a business, or you may be feeling that way if you're thinking about starting a business. Don't push through those fears. You are already good enough. And as long as you're doing what you are here to do, as long as you believe in yourself, absolutely, Pommy, exactly, you have to believe yourself and go for it. Such wise words from Pommy. You absolutely do. And stay away from the naysayers. There's always going to be people who have opinions. They will have their own opinions, and that's okay because they're entitled to their opinions. But it's not the truth. Just because they say it doesn't make it true. Just because people said to me that I would never make it, that I have no business acumen, that my family comes from a long line of losers, and what's so different about you, didn't make it true. Okay, it only becomes true when you start to believe in those. So stay away from people who will steal your dreams, and instead surround yourself with people who are going to help you. They're going to bolster you. They're going to support you, and they're going to encourage you. Hi V, nice for you to be here. So you want to stay with people who are going to help and support you. They're going to encourage you. Okay. And when you do all of this, you find your path of joy. You start to find out who you're really here to help, the kind of people you love to help. So you might be a travel agent and you might have a certain group of people that you're here to serve. What kind of people do you most enjoy serving within that business? You could be in the cake making business. What gives you the most joy? There's so many different types of people within these businesses that you could serve, that you could specialize in. And everybody has their own specialisms. There is plenty for everyone out there. So don't buy into the fear that there is not enough, or there's too much competition, or there's all these big companies and you're going to be going up against all these big companies that have already secured your niche, because the thing is, only you can do what you can do. Nobody else can, no matter how big they are, no matter how much money they've got, no matter how much experience they may have behind them. Only you can do what you can do. So you want to refocus. You want to get away from the fear mentality, the lack mentality, and you want to plug yourself into the abundance. This universe, it's abundant. There's plenty. Things always replenish in this universe. They will replenish faster than we can deplete things, but it's a common misconception that things are going to run out, that the resources are going to run out, they're going to be exhausted. And that's all based on a fear energy. And this is something that can really block you in moving forward with your life purpose, in making a career, a successful career, a profitable business, or a profitable career doing what you love, doing your life purpose. I see it all the time with my clients, my students, some of whom are struggling. They're amazing at what they do, but they still struggle in the business aspect. But the more and more that you can start aligning yourself to who you're here to serve, what you're here to do, what's really important to your soul, you will bust through those blocks. I promise you, try it and you will see. Hi Helen, nice to see you here tonight. So does anyone have any questions about life purpose? Is anyone stuck? Are you all okay with your life purpose? Do you find that there's blocks in your business? Maybe you are leading a purpose-led career and you're struggling, you're finding it difficult, or you're coming across some obstacles or challenges in your business, your career, in finding your life purpose. If you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them down below and I will try my best to answer everything. So there are, okay, so Satvinder says, I've attracted a job. I love serving others thanks to you and my family. That's correct. So Sat actually had problems. He had some blocks that we worked through together with him. He's my husband, so of course he gets healing sessions with me, and we really worked on what his blocks were, what he needed to do to identify what his purpose was, and who the people he was here to serve. And as soon as we shifted all that energy, we shifted all the fears, he landed a really good job. He's loving it. He's loving the people he works with. He's loving the people he meets every day at work, and he's doing amazingly well. I'm so proud of him. Well done, Sat. It is the healing that we did, but it also takes effort from the part of the persons receiving the healing. You do need to go away and you do need to take action. You do need to look at what you're doing and take the action, right? The universe can help you, but you need to do stuff. You need to do things for yourself. You need to do the practical things yourself. So Imogen, you've just got a question. I sort of know my life purpose, but I'm blocked as to how to get there. I've just left my job and any advice would be helpful. I feel really blocked on it. So Imogen, you kind of know your life purpose, but you're blocked as to how to get there. And sometimes your life purpose is huge. It can seem really overwhelming. So I feel like you have got fears around having to do everything on your own. So that's another common thing that will block you from moving forward in getting to your life purpose. And the way that I was always told, and I've had so much guidance over this myself personally, channeling guidance from angels and ascended masters and the creator. And when I was feeling that at that point where it becomes really overwhelming, because you know, and you have this idea, you know exactly where you need to be going, but you can't see how you're going to get there from where you're at right now. The first step to take is follow your path of joy. That is what I kept being told, and this is what I can say to you. Follow your path of joy. What one thing that you do that helps others but you love, and only you can do it. Okay, you start taking little steps towards that. You start to see what your fears are, and fears will come up, and as you do, you can work through them with I work with them through theta healing. Thanks V, follow your path of joy. Yeah, I always say that, because the more happy you are, the higher your energy, the higher your vibration, and then the more stuff that you just magnetize things. So for you, Imogen, it's very much about finding what it is that makes you happy. What is it that you're really good at? Okay, so and sometimes when you've left a job and there's no income coming in, no steady income, it gets overwhelming, and you can dip into fear very easily. And so you want to make sure that you're transitioning, and you're looking at that transitioning. So not just doing what I did, and I say do as I say, not as I do, because when I came towards the end of my franchise, I actually gave that back because I didn't resonate with it at all at that point, and I started my healing business, and I wanted to focus more time on my healing business. But what I did was I made a complete jump. It was just like I cut the line and I said, I'm handing this back, I cannot do this anymore, and I'm just going to do whatever it is. And in the beginning it was really tough for me, I have to say. It was difficult, and then there was this whole fear stuff around how am I going to make this money. So I dipped into fear for a couple of months on how was I going to make my bills, how was I going to pay my bills, and that really affected me. When you dip into that type of energy, you're going to be blocking things because you're just too stuck in the fears, you're too stuck in not having enough, you're too stuck in the lack mentality. And so you want to work on that stuff. So I would always advise that you have something that keeps you ticking over. So maybe go part-time, maybe look for another job, maybe do some temping, and whatever it is that you want to do, you can gradually start to introduce that. And as you gain momentum in what you're supposed to be doing, then you can let go of your other career. But sometimes, you know what, if it's your divine timing, like it was with me, it will happen, and the universe will force you into doing it. So you can go in kicking and screaming, or you can just go in voluntarily. And I'll tell you from experience, it's much easier when you just volunteer and go in and go with the flow, and trust that you're always being taken to the right place. You need to be able to trust. So somebody else asked something here. I'd love to know. So Kimberly, I'd love to know my life purpose so I know where to spend my money to retrain. Really, really good question. So Kimberly, I don't know if you meditate at all, but if you do, that's what I was speaking about earlier on, is getting into that Zen zone, whatever it takes for you. For me, I use theta healing a lot. You want to clear your mind. You want to ask the questions. What is important to my soul? Okay, who am I here to serve? How can I help? Who are the people that I promised to serve while I was here? Okay, you start getting information, it will start being drip fed to you. Once you open up to the universe and you surrender to the universe, you will be given this information, and then you start to set the intention that you're going to serve. So every day you wake up in your meditation, who can I help today? Who can I serve? Where do you want me to be? So I will say to Creator, where do you want me to be? Who do you need me to serve? Okay, and people will just come, things will come, opportunities will come. I'll see a course that wasn't on that I hadn't noticed, and I'd be guided towards doing it. The other really good thing that you can do for you theta healers, because I noticed that there are a few theta healers on this live feed, what you can do is to connect up to Creator and ask if it's a training that you want to do and you want to do some retraining, you want to completely shift what you're doing. Ask Creator, what would be my highest and best? Who should I take this training with? Where would it be easier for me to do it? Okay, so you can ask all sorts of questions, get really curious, and you will be led to the right teacher, the right place, the right courses for you. It's amazing. And for those of you that aren't theta healers, you want to try doing the courses. It's such an amazing and such a powerful technique. It will give you the steps on how to be connected, how to get into that Zen zone really, really easily, how to access your own inner wisdom to get your answers. And it's a really handy tool. It opens up your intuition. So for you guys out there who do practice theta healing, you'll know how much your intuition has heightened since just doing the basic and the advanced courses, right? And it really does help make good decisions. It really does help to make good decisions. And so if you're following your inner guidance and your intuition, it's going to be a lot easier to see things, identify people that are going to be for your best, and you can also identify the ones that are not going to be for your best, and you can steer well clear of them. It makes life so much easier. Is there any more questions? I'm just scrolling to see because I can see this moving up. Yeah, so following your path of joy, it will bring you the abundance that you seek. Blocks that help you in fulfilling your life purpose. So again, it comes down to mainly self-worth issues. Whether you think you're worthy of it, whether you think you deserve it. What kind of things were you told as a child? So think back to your childhood. Were your parents, your family, your friends, your teachers, any authority figures back in your childhood, what kind of things did they say? Did they say you're not smart enough, you're in the remedial class, don't worry about it? Were you ever compared to others? All right, this is something that happens so much. We get compared a lot, and parents do it a lot. Parents do it with a view to maybe motivate their children to do better, but actually it causes self-worth issues, because if you're constantly being compared to other people, and in my family that was something that happened all the time. We were a large extended family. All of the kids were kind of the same sort of age groups, and so everyone was always compared to one another. Such and such is doing this, oh you're not good enough, oh such and such got this for their A levels and their GCSEs, you're not doing this, such and such can cook and clean and you don't do any of that. You know, we were always being compared. In our school, I actually grew up in Kenya, where I went to school in Kenya, and it was highly competitive. So you were constantly being compared there to the smartest kids. Why aren't you getting the A stars? Why did you not get 100%? You only got 90%. What's going on with that? You know, it was a very competitive environment to be in. And so you want to cast your mind back to see, were you always in competition? Were you always comparing yourself? Because if you are, you can bet your bottom dollar that you'll have some sort of self-esteem, self-worthiness issues going on there. Okay, because it's really easy as a child. You're like a sponge. You absorb everything that's going on. Also, have a look as well as what your parents were like. Did they feel that they could never do things? Did they have issues, or were they feeling like they were never good enough? Maybe they were compared to their siblings and their families. Okay, you may have inherited all that stuff. So some of the stuff that that goes on in our subconscious minds isn't even our own stuff. It's stuff that we've been listening in on. We've genetically inherited. So just the same way as you inherit your hair color, your eye color, your skin tone, you can also inherit genetic beliefs as well, genetic fears, genetic prejudices. Okay, so I've got another question here, Rashila. How would you know if the job is right for you and will be perfect if you get offered the job? I've had bad experiences with bosses previously. Okay, so Rashila wants to know how you would know if the job is right for you, and if you get offered the job, if it would be perfect, because she's had bad experiences with bosses previously. Again, if you open up to your intuition and you listen to that inner guidance, you'll never be guided wrong. You will know the people that you resonate with. You will know the job, the opportunities that are going to be the best for you. So listen into your own intuition, and you'll not go far wrong. I promise you. Even if you do end up in a job that you're not particularly happy with a manager that you're not particularly happy with, there'll always be a reason. There's always a learning. There's never mistakes. Okay, you think you make mistakes? Let me tell you, there are no mistakes. Cast your mind back to all those things that you thought were mistakes in your life. And now think about where your life is now. Would you be where you are now? Would you be the person that you are now if you hadn't gone through those experiences? No. And quite often those mistakes or the traumatic experiences are the ones that you learn from the most. So don't ever sit in regret of making a mistake. There is no such thing. Don't ever sit in the fear of I will make a mistake, because that will stop you from doing stuff. The fear of what you have done in the past is going to keep you stuck in the past. The fear of what could go wrong is going to stop you from moving forward, right? What you need to do is focus on the here and now. What are you doing now? What's the next step that you need to take? And the rest will just take care of itself. You just want to make it less overwhelming for you. So was it Imogen? Imogen was saying about the life purpose and kind of knowing the direction where she's going at. When you look at the bigger picture, it can be really overwhelming. But if you think of what step can I take next, and that next step could just be getting a job in the interim to be able to support you in doing what you really want to do. It could just be taking a course with one person because you resonate with that energy, and then seeing what transpires out of taking that course. Okay, it could just be listening in on a webinar, or this live stream could have been your next step. But there will be one thing that you can do in that present moment that you can absolutely do. You have full control, full power, and it's not going to feel scary to take that step. So a lot of you have come in live to join me tonight on this webinar. Was it a really scary decision to come in to join live? Yeah. So that's the kind of things. Once you start doing things one at a time, then it becomes easier. Bite-sized chunks. It becomes less overwhelming. And then before you know it, you look back a few months ago and you think, oh my gosh, how did I achieve all of this? So I tell you, this is exactly how I've got to where I'm at now. I didn't start off with a multi-award winning business. I didn't start off with clients and, a full diary. I wanted to get to that stage, but at that point where I had just given up this baby swimming business, I had no money coming in. I'd spent a load of money, invested a lot of money in this business, and I had nothing. It was really overwhelming. I was like, how on earth am I going to get to where I need to get to from where I'm at now? But when I started to do things one step at a time, and at times it will be frustrating, and it was for me. V will know, because V's one of my social media coaches. She's brilliant at what she does, and she really helped me to take things one step at a time. I worked with other coaches who also helped me to take things one step at a time, and sometimes that's what you need. I felt like I didn't have any money then, but the little that I did invest in people who were experts at what they did, and they could guide you. And I had systems in place, so when I have got busy now, everything's there, everything's ready. It's not overwhelming for me because I've already done the legwork for it. So sometimes the best thing you can do is invest in yourself. And when you're investing in theta healing sessions, in the the courses or in coaches or any of this kind of stuff, people think that they're investing in the person. It's never the person you're investing in. You're investing in yourself. So if you don't feel like you can invest in yourself, then how is anyone else going to want to invest in you? Yeah, it's just as simple as that. So that big realization hit me the first coaching session that I ever had. It was a lot of money at the time. It was a lot of money, but I didn't realize how much value that would add to my life, to my career. And it's like the gift that keeps on giving. So you invest in these things. Yeah, absolutely, Pommy. Self-investment is the key, because you're not investing in that coach. You're not investing in that theta healer. You're not investing in the other person. You're actually making an investment in yourself, right? And who better to make an investment in? You're the only person that you're going to invest in that's going to guarantee a return on that investment. Everything else can go up and down. You will make sure that you deliver because you've made that investment. So that's one of the really important things, the key things, key tips and tactics that I can give you. So V's just got, it's all about pace when you're organizing your brand and promotional tactics. Absolutely. And V's the person to speak to. That's beyond my remit, but what I can talk to you about is the mindset stuff. So if you want to speak about social media and getting your social media all into place, setting it all into place, V Roberts, Insight to Marketing, you'll see her on the comments. Just connect with her. She's amazing at what she does. Hi, Susanna. And yes, Pommy, absolutely, the money will come back. Every time I have invested in a course, the money has always come back. I've always made that money back. And in fact, I set the intention to make that money back tenfold, and it's always happened. So if you are thinking about investing in some courses, some sessions, just set the intention that that money comes back tenfold, and it will come tenfold. Okay? Sonica, looking forward to seeing the changes in my life after doing the courses with you. Yes, absolutely. I look forward to seeing you. And you know, when I teach these theta healing courses, it's such a joy. So talking about the joy, that's what I find joyful. I love speaking. I love teaching. I'm very good at what I do. And I absolutely love to watch the transformation in my students. I love supporting them. I love coaching them and pushing them to be the best that they can be. So in my classes, I really do tend to push my students. And the reason for that is because I can see their potential. I want them to overcome their fears to achieve their potential. And the transformation is amazing. So Sonica, you love teaching. And you are a teacher, so that's a good thing that you love teaching. But you want to look at something that only you do. Even as a teacher, what is it that only you do that you love doing? Okay, something that's completely unique to you. And focus on that, because that can be another income stream, and it will be a way of fulfilling your life purpose. Those are the types of things you guys need to be thinking of when you're focusing on a purpose-led career that you're passionate about, that you love, but that you also want to make profitable for you, right? Something that you love doing, something that brings you joy, something that you are just innately good at, and it could be anything. So my husband, he's really good at Flight Simulator. So he plays that all the time. And I was talking to him one time and I asked him, what is it that you just love to do, that you're really, really good at, but you absolutely love to do it? And that's the thing he came up with. And I was thinking, oh my God, how are you going to make money from that? But apparently there are people making money out of playing flight sim. So you know, you can do anything, and it could just be another added income stream for you. It doesn't have to be your main thing. So you could have your day job, which is what you do. But I know a lot of my students and a lot of the people that I work with, my clients, they love to create things. They love making things. I know one of my clients, she's a brilliant cake maker. She's amazing. Her cakes are exquisite. They taste divine. She's very good at that. And only she can make those cakes. Like, I've tried so many cakes from so many different people. I myself bake, and I have, without blowing my own trumpet, my cakes are pretty decent, but they're never ever the same as this client of mine. I mean, they're amazing, and this client happens to be my mother, but she comes to me as a client as well. Her cakes are absolutely divine because she has that magic touch, and that magic touch comes because she's passionate about it. She loves it. She puts all her love, all her energy into that cake and that buttercream, which nobody can make, nobody can recreate. She's given me the recipe. I cannot recreate what she does. All right, so it's the same thing. It's her energetic signature. Only she can do it. The same way as every single one of you here will have an energetic signature, something that only you are good at, and you can monetize from this. And yeah, absolutely, Sat. When you're passionate, you add love into what you do, and it really shows. It really does show. You will bring out the best in the people that you're doing it for, and you will bring out the best in yourself when you love what you do. It makes all the difference. So I think that's I'm gonna close that live stream now. But if there's any questions, just pop them down below. If you're watching the replay, pop them down below. For those of you who are interested in taking the theta healing courses to open up your psychic senses and your intuition, intuition is great. It's like having a little guide with you all the time. You know, imagine that. Imagine having someone there saying, no, don't do this. This won't be good for you. Try this instead. And it always works out. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. It's like having your own personal life coach with you all the time. So if you'd like to open up your intuitive centers, your intuition, your psychic senses, then I am teaching the theta healing courses. I'll pop down the link below where you can find out details of all the courses that I teach. And we're starting with the basic next week, so there are still a couple of spaces left on the basic course if you are interested. Not very many left now, but if you are interested, do sign up, and I shall see you guys soon. Thank you everyone for joining me on the live. You guys have been amazing. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.